44. What is
Yes.
what is Project 44?
So yeah, no, it's a great transition. So when Nathan and I were at the archives, we sort of dreamt up this idea of like being able to follow Canadian troops as they fought their way from Normandy all the way through the liberation of Holland.
Right.
And for me, like it was personal because my paternal grandfather served in the Second World War, and he passed away before I was born and when my father was younger, but
Wow.
he played a role in, the fight. And I had limited knowledge of where he spent his time, when he spent his time,
Mm-hmm.
and the engagements that the Canadian Army was engaged in. And I thought, like, oh, if we can find information that proved or that shows where these units are located, and we gathered all this information for every single Canadian unit and put it on a map and showed it to people, then you can start to see how the campaign went. And, like obviously not everything is captured in, paperwork that's found in archives, but a lot of good information is. And that's really like, we just saw potential in this to make a GIS project, to create data out of World War II documents. So,
Right.
And we started there, and a lot of hard work. So we started with Normandy. We had a goal. We wanted to have the first edition of the website launched for 2019 D-Day.
Right.
We did that. It covered 87 days of combat, June 6th till August 30th, 1944. And that was really crazy. And once you see something that cool, like we just had to continue to the next, August 44 to May 45, right? So
Right.
that's the next challenge.
Yeah. So I'm letting them show a part. I just started up your website, the project44.ca, and then on the web map, it is crazy because I loved when you shared the first one of the first the versions of the map. As you said, you had June 6th mapped throughout August 1944, and so
Yeah.
basically what you guys have done is you collected all of the spatial data from World War II documents and maps and put this in one single web application so that we can follow every unit day by day. And if you look at, I have the settings are, I think I have to change some filters over here, but you can follow the front line day by day, and every single unit that you have on there is also you can follow them, and that is crazy in my opinion, and it's in a good way crazy.
Well, the backbone of this project is like the ability for the Allies to gather spatial location information more accurately than the Germans. And you can see that perfectly in 12th Army Group situation maps, which are maps that were made every single day of the Northwest European campaign from June 6th till well after the Second World War.
Right.
And, from high up, I'm talking Eisenhower, Omar Bradley level, Bernard Montgomery level. These guys were looking at these documents every day to see what the situation was of the front and what assets they had at their disposal to sort of, go down the chain and say, okay, well, yeah, I want 3 armored divisions punched through, the Siegfried line today.
Right.
So, that document, is really amazing.
Do you have an example of the 12th Army Group?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Because I think those are crazy I say crazy a lot, but I think they're a wonderful thing. I believe they're
Yeah.
out there somewhere on the internet, but
Oh yeah. Well, these are from the Library of Congress. So you can see here a situation at the end of the day on June 29th, 1944. You can see every divisional level and up unit every single day.
oh wow.
And if I go over to Project 44, and I go to June 29th,
Aha.
I can see that all that information and hover over it
All
with
right. You basically,
so
yeah, you collected. Oh wow.
so yeah, that served as the basis to capture our allies, and for the Canadian units, it was really archival documents, and anyways, it's you can click on every single Canadian unit and read what was going on that day for them, and we're hoping to capture more of this information in the future for our allies for sure.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's because that's the crazy thing in my opinion. Um, you have done all of the Canadian stuff, and you're a Canadian association. But once the like that's great and that's amazing. But if the United States the archival documents for those units, it is huge.
so
It's gonna take such a long time to digitize all of that. Um, but I think this is a wonderful first step in the direction of new ways of telling and passing on history. People, because this we are, I almost feel like a it's almost feels like a time travel machine or something to me. You're viewing the war from above as it was on that day, and you can uh, you have that aerial overlay feature on you as a base map thing, and if that's going to be expanded throughout all of Europe one day, that's
yeah, well, that would be my dream. I've dreamed about that. There are collections out there that are quite large and cover, pretty populous areas in Holland because, as you guys, you can go anywhere in Holland and dig up something and you might find a grenade or, a shell, like, any sort of major area of conflict was subjected to heavy aerial bombardment, artillery
right.
bombardment, all that type of stuff. So, aerial photos are like key to have that, literally that Google map of the time, right?
Exactly.
So, do you want to see what the Arnhem Bridge looked like on September 19th or 14th? You can see it. I'm pretty sure you'd see parachutes everywhere and gliders and
Right.
stuff. So